And here she is in all of her glory. This is a 1965 Ford Mustang. As you can tell, it is a 289 coupe. And I bought this off Facebook Marketplace, of course. And it was only 30 minutes away from my house. But I just had to jump on it because I just love old vintage Mustangs, and especially for this being one of the first year models, I just had to go get it, and it was for a really good price. It was super cheap, and it's all complete as you can see. Everything's here. It's not beat up. It's not really dinged up anyway. The worst damage on it is right here. You can see there's a little ding in the lower fender there, and we got some looks like some bubbling going on underneath there. But other than that, it's all complete and really straight actually. Another thing that I noticed was this luggage rack on there. I don't think this is an original Ford one, but still it is very old, and I really like how it looks on there actually. And the guy that I bought it from off Facebook, he said he could never get it to run, so that was another reason why it was so cheap. He had told me that it was a project car that him and his dad had bought that they were planning to restore and make running and all that, but obviously, as you can tell, they didn't get around to that. He said, life got in the way. He went to school and he grew up and all that stuff, and his wife said that he had to get it out of the way. So now it is in my way, and it'll be my new project for me and my wife to build. But yeah, again, this is the 289. Let me pop this hood real quick. And it is, from what I can tell, all original. Nothing's been replaced on it. I've already been in here and started to label some things, and I put this fuel filter in line because, as you'll see later in the video, or you might have already seen it, that I did start messing with this motor and tried to get it to run. But yeah, again, everything is complete and everything's here. Even the bag over here is in here. He said that he was putting this power steering pump on here and he didn't get finished putting it on all the way. That's why there's no belt on it. So we do have that to look at. But other than that, it looks like everything is there and all original. The carburetor, I don't know if that's the original carburetor or not, but it looks pretty old and it's going to need to be replaced. So there is that. And as for the rust situation on this car, these Mustangs are notorious for rusting, and as you can see, this one has its spots on it, but again, not terribly rusty. There is spots on it that are somewhat bad. If we can, I don't know if you can see that down in there. The frame rail down in there is it's got a hole in it. It's a little bad, but hey, we can get that fixed no problem. But again, the thing that amazed me about this car is that one, I got it for really cheap, and it was only 30 minutes away from my house, and it's completely all complete. Like there's nothing missing, there's nothing aftermarket, there's nothing wrong with this vehicle other than being very old and a little tattered. Let's hop on the inside here. One thing I did notice is that these mirrors are not the original mirrors. These are some a little bit later model mirrors that are going to be replaced, so we're not even going to worry about that. Doors work great, and the interior is, as you can tell, not perfect, but not the worst thing in the world either. And I wish y'all could smell what this car smells like because it's got a bad fuel leak on it somewhere that we'll have to figure out where that is. And it just smells like straight up gas in here. But as you can tell, obviously the floors in this Mustang are going to be need to be replaced. That's a pretty much a given on these 65s, and you either have floors or you don't have floors. So a good way to test it is to give it a good floor pan tester using the good old tester right here. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but I heard some debris falling. Yeah, yeah, I think it's going to need new floors. We're going to ignore that for right now, though. But again, I love how the dash is there, all the knobs is there, the shifter is here, everything except for the radio. is in here that is supposed to be in here. Even the headliner is there. It is, you know, not in the best condition. It is going to need to be replaced, but everything is there for this car, and that's what I love about it. And this car is going to need a lot of work, as you can tell. Another reason I bought it though is because it did turn over. Before I bought it from the guy, I did test it to make sure that at least the motor turned over. When you put the key in the ignition, the lights would come on the dash, and you could crank it, and it would spin over, but it just wouldn't fire. So that's a good sign that it's not a locked up motor and it doesn't need that much work. Hopefully. But the plan for this car is to do a completely full restoration. I mean, everything's going to be redone on this car. We're going to get in the motor. We're going to make it look new and, some spray paint jobs and stuff like that. The whole engine bay is going to be redone. Take apart the interior, put all new upholstery, all new floors, all new carpet, everything like that. Wheels, tires, because right now we have some, I don't know if y'all can see that. We have these aftermarket Krager Camaro wheels, which the original owner had bought for the car. And then on the rear, I have some spare Ranger wheels that I had to use to be able to get the car to move. And yeah, of course, we're going to do a whole new paint job, body work, everything. We're going to do everything to this car, make it a beautiful, all original car. I'm going to try and bring it back to an original state. Not really make it really like hot roddy or anything like that. I'm going to try and make it very original. But the first thing we need to do is focus on getting it running good and driving good, and then we'll start doing all the cosmetic prettification, as I like to say. So in this first video, I think the first thing we're going to be doing is just tackling the motor, trying to get this car to run and at least idle. And also, this is just going to be, well, at least for right now, because I am doing this all by myself and at my house. So this is just going to kind of be a side project. It's not going to be my main focus. I'm still going to be doing what I always do, which is customizing trucks and building them and making those look cool and selling those. But this Mustang is just going to be a fun side project that's going to be done over a long period of time. So unless these videos absolutely blow up somehow and I'm able to like take the money straight from these videos and pour it straight into this car and make it even quicker and faster process, which would be amazing, of course. But right now, it's just going to be a fun little side project that we're going to be working on here on the YouTube channel. And of course, there will also be videos on TikTok and Instagram, but much more shorter videos compared to here on YouTube, where we'll get the full length, in-depth videos of doing the whole process of this car. All right, everybody. Today I'm going to see if I can get the Mustang started. And exactly how I'm going to do that is do absolutely nothing and just hook the battery back up and see if it'll start. I want everyone to keep in mind that I've never done something like this before. I've never worked on a vehicle this old before, and especially not this in depth before. The most I've done is customize some newer trucks. That's all. So this is all going to be new to me, and I'm going to be figuring it out as I go. First things first, let's try and let's hook the battery back up because I took it out because I believe it died on me because the lights never came back on. So let's put it back in. Does not have a handle on it, by the way. Little inconvenience, it's whatever. Get down in there. Alright. Looks good enough to me. And this did come already equipped with a battery disconnect cable, so that's cool. Go ahead and put it back in like so. Now I'm going to hook up this fancy button that I picked up from Harbor Freight to see if we can get it started. And also, I don't know how to use this thing properly. But from what I understand, we attach it to the battery at the positive side. And there's not really a good spot to clip on to, because these clips are kind of small. From what I understand, I'm going to attach this positive battery terminal, which again, there's not a very good spot, so I'm just going to do it right, right there, right, right there. And I believe this one goes to this solenoid right here. Maybe. I have a red light. Let's see what happens. It spun. It's doing something. That's a good sign. It spins over. Get a brake cleaner. See what it wants to do with that. It wants to start. Let's try it one more time. Let's see what happens. All right, now that we see that it turns over, before we go too far in depth, I'm going to go through and label all the spark plug wires, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to pull each one out, take the spark plug out, and I'm going to check the compression on each cylinder. That way I know if ahead of time if there's something wrong with internally, then I'll just need to go ahead and take the motor out and rebuild it. But first, before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and clean up this whole engine bay because it is pretty dirty and we don't need to be working in a dirty area. So like I said, I'm going to go through here and label each plug wire, and then as I pull out the spark plugs, I'm also going to label the spark plugs as well so that they go back in their spot. But for those of y'all that don't know, the firing order on a Ford engine is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So pretty straightforward. All right. Now, the first thing that I'm noticing about these spark plugs is that, as you can probably tell, they look brand new. And that's cool and all, but I don't really like that because I can't tell how the motor was running before these were replaced. So, it's cool that they're all brand new spark plugs. As you can tell, they look like new money. They don't have any sort of corrosion on the bottom there whatsoever. So that means I don't know. That means I don't know. So we're still going to take them all out and then continue with checking the compression on the motor. Alrighty, now I've gotten all the spark plugs out of the motor, and again, these are all new spark plugs, so they're not really telling me much. But I did find on my number 6 cylinder spark plug, as you can see there, it has some oil on the spark plug. Now, typically that would be cause for concern, but keep in mind this is a 60-year-old vehicle and there is bound to be some issues. But seeing as how the oil is only on the threads itself along the top here, as if you can see, and not actually anywhere near the bottom, that's a good sign. That means it's more than likely just the valve gasket that went bad. And it's a simple fix. We just pop the valve covers off and put a new gasket on there and it's fixed. At least I'm hoping that fixes it. So let's go ahead and continue doing our compression check on each cylinder. It's come to my attention that I have not yet even looked at what the fuel looks like in this gas tank. And I've been cranking this car and trying to get it to start recently, and it's been kind of unnerving me that I don't know what that gas looks like. So that's what I'm going to check right now, and hopefully it's not sludge or somewhere close to that. So what I'm going to do here is quickly take off this main fuel line, just disconnect it from the carburetor, put the tube in this bottle right here, give it a few cranks, and see what the gas looks like, and see even if we can get gas to pump. Because maybe the fuel pump doesn't work, and we'll have to replace that as well. So let's see what happens. Got a little bit of seepage right there. We got some coming out already. So that's a good sign that the pump has been pumping at least. Right? Right? Sure. See if we can't get some pumpage going. I really hope it doesn't fire up right now. Let's see here. Here we go. Good news is the fuel pump works. Fuel pump definitely works. And that's not looking too good. First of all, it is very orange. And if we look on the bottom, we can see that there is a lot of sediments in there. And we definitely don't want that. So definitely going to probably be replacing the gas tank. And since we do very obviously have some sediment in our gas, I'm going to go ahead and pop in this fuel filter just right here in the line, since, better than nothing, might as well. Uh-huh. And and that will make me feel a little better. All right, everybody, I think that's going to be it for this first episode of working on the Mustang. We didn't get a lot done, but again, this is the first of many videos to come on this Mustang. So, yeah, thank y'all for watching the video and hanging out, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and leave some comments down below of what you'd like to see done to this Mustang, like what color we should paint it, what color the interior should be, what wheels we should get, all that kind of stuff. So thanks again for watching this video, and be sure to stick around for the next one.